Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to Pacific Paradise, and welcome back to this island we are creating. We are on the Steam version of the game, the PC version of the game, and for anyone who's new here, I'm just going to run through the controls real quick. We are using W to go forward, S to go back, A goes left, D goes right, Q goes down, E goes up. You push and hold the right mouse button and that pans the camera around, but wait, there's more as we zoom in on the beach. Because as we bring out the yellow life raft, R rotates, T transforms, C copies or clones, delete deletes, and if you have an object selected and press F, that focuses. But there's more. Oh, there's always more. We have 3 brushes, we have raise and lower, we have set height, and we have smooth height. But there's a caveat. These sliders are used by all of the brushes, so if you crank the amount slider all the way up and you're smoothing the sand around the outside of your island, and then you think, oh, I'd like to raise the sand just a little bit, and you hit raise and lower, and if you were to left click now, with the amount slider cranked all the way up, you would put a spike of sand all the way up to Andromeda, the Milky Way galaxy's nearest neighbor. And that would make everyone sad, so what you need to do is make sure the amount slider is cranked all the way down when you're done with the brush, save often, and if you make a mistake, there is no undo. So, go out to the main menu, and then come back in again, because that's the quickest way to fix a mistake. Anyway, last time we added Amelia Earhart's body, and sort of an aircraft. Let's have a little look at the island, because this massive, every time I come in here I'm just like, oh yeah, no, this is absolutely massive. It's a volcano with a caldera. We have a limited tool set, we have a limited number of objects, and we're doing our best to make it an interesting and fun island to be on. If we go to terrain and we hit the cog and we turn display ocean off, the island is about as big as you can realistically get. We've pushed the beaches right up against the void, right up against the abyss. But we've broken the island down into different zones, and last time we added a rocky zone, which is kind of neat. So if we turn the ocean back on, go to objects so we don't have the brush selected, we have a beach with groins. So the groins capture sand, and you can see there's drift and there's scour, which is kind of neat. We still need to do something here because, well, we have a sunken boat, but I'd like this to be a bit more of a jetty, not quite a harbour, but some way on and off the island. We have the old military installations with the radar tower. We have a building, which is kind of neat, and we also have this. Now, I did say last time, the most powerful tool in your arsenal is your subconscious. If you are working on an island, don't be in a rush to complete it. Make some bits and pieces, throw some items down, do whatever you need to do, but let your subconscious work on the island when you're in the shower, when you're asleep, when you're reading a book. Because I've been looking at this and I'm like, I think I know what I need to do with this. I'm going to work on this now, but we can do better. Speaking of doing better, we also have things like we have a lava tunnel. So we have a tunnel that runs from the caldera all the way out to the ocean. We have like a blast zone, so part of the caldera has been blasted out and presumably sealed up with some lava. We have some pathways that go up the side of the volcano itself. We have the forest, the woods, which are very lovely. We're going to have to come back and do something more with this, which, you know, at some point we're just going to have to refine everything, just tweak everything. But last time we added a bunch of rocks, we brought the beach out here, we added an aeroplane. It's not a Lockheed Electra, but it'll do. And we also added a skeleton. Yes. Hello, how are you doing? Did you land successfully? Well, the plane has landed. But yes, so once the player comes onto the island, the coconut will become a physics object. It'll drop down on the skeleton's head and it'll presumably look like the skeleton was bonked on the brain. And they got lost because we gave them a compass. If you want to know how to add a skeleton to an island, well, you can watch the last video because that's exactly what we did. But there's more. Oh my gosh. There is another caveat. The more items you add to an island, the slower the camera gets because the camera has no constant velocity. And we are finding that at this late stage of the build. So if I push and hold W, and I just fly the camera around, if I get close to any of these objects, yes, slow down. and then you can get very slow if you come through multiple objects stacked up together until you get clear of the objects, and then you just sort of scoot away quite quickly towards the edge of the island. It's a bit weird. Sometimes it's more dramatic. But yes, what I think we need to do is this section of beach here, because, well, it's fine, but it's also kind of empty and cold. And I don't think there's anything down there if we turn the ocean off. No, it's kind of big and flat. Oh, we need to praise the sun because the shadows are not locked to anything. So ocean on, praise the sun, ocean off, shadows are now locked to the ground. Wonderful. Yeah, this whole area here. So we're going to go to objects, we're going to grab a rock, we're going to go and find cliff 2, which is what we've used in this whole area here. So we've extended the beach outwards in a realistic manner. We've got some scour, we've got some drift, we've got, you know, some neat stuff going on the beach. And then we've got these groins which are sort of holding sand. Like, this is our story. This is the story that we're telling. This area here would be kind of neat if what we could do is hit R, rotate, and then drop this down. And then maybe have a big old chunk of rock. No, we've done this before. We've done this before. Have we? Yeah. We also need to be very careful because sometimes when you let go of something, and if there's an object in line in the background, sometimes, yeah, there it goes. Your selection will jump onto something in the background. So keep an eye open for that because it happens with alarming regularity. So what I'm going to do is drop this in here, hit R to rotate. The rotation point, the pivot point is strange for this. I'm just going to find a neat position. I think that is a neat position. Okay, T to transform. Probably ought to rotate again because I think that's angled slightly up. Neat. And then jumps onto something in the background. T to transform. Right. Cool. And then what I'm going to do is rotate that. There. Alright. I'm going to turn the ocean on for a hot second. No, I'm going to turn the... I'm going to hit the time of day slider and turn everything to night so nobody can see anything. That's wonderful. So with this selected, what I want is the rock to be above the surface. That is super annoying that it keeps jumping like that. Oh, and yeah, basically these builds often turn into second monitor viewing, Bob Ross viewing, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, we quite often put a happy little bush somewhere and then slap the devil out of it. Is that what he does? I think so. So I want this to be put in here. I'm being very careful about how it's positioned. I want it to be something that the player can walk on. I want it to be kind of in line with these groins, but I also want it to be like a to denote the start of this area over here. And what we're going to do is, now this is something that's kind of neat. It's actually in the sand as well, which is super good. What we're going to do is raise up the sand here. So I'm actually going to praise the sun, turn the ocean off. There we go. So it's the cog and then the display ocean toggle. Then what we're going to do is retrain paint height. Going to grab some dry sand. Going to change the size of that brush down because it's huge and it's just kind of getting in everyone's eyeballs. The amount slider I'm going to take and slide it forward until it hits T, and then we're going to gingerly left click. Okay, cool. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is exactly the same thing with the groins, where we've got the sand kind of drifting across the beach and being gathered by everything. I'm going to use this in exactly the same way. So this area can be filled slightly with sand. So you can push and hold left mouse button. That will do exactly the same thing. Let's do that. Lift that up a little bit. Grab some dry sand from over here. And then, yeah. Nice. Nice. Oh, but that looks a bit weird. I know it does. We're actually going to go beyond where we want it to be. Then we're going to hit smooth tool, crank the mount slider up and rip the knob off. And then we're going to smooth this all back. So I put the camera in a position where you can kind of see what's going on. We suddenly lose a bunch of altitude, lose a bunch of height. Which is fine, because we're going to keep doing that. So retrain paint height from here. The amount slider is cranked, so drop that down and then left click. Yeah, just fill that in. And then smooth it off, crank it up, smooth it off. And at some point I'm going to forget and then accidentally just like put a spike up somewhere. Actually no, with the set height, if the amount slider is cranked all the way up, it can't go beyond the value that we've set, so it's not devastating. Right, okay, that's not so bad. Might bring it out a little bit this way. And then probably beyond. Let's do that beyond. Because we're losing a lot of height every time we smooth. Which isn't great. It's to be expected. So smoothing all the way up. That's probably better. What I'm looking for is a nice angle to the nice shape to the beach. Okay, so we're pushing this back, pushing this down, pushing this back, and the size of the brush also has an effect on how smooth the sand becomes. It'll never become perfectly smooth because as soon as we exit and come back into the game, that sand will become polygonal. Sort of annoying, but it's something that happens. Okay, cool. So we'll turn the ocean back on, and now we have another interesting feature on the beach. Yes, look at that. It's quite steep. Bloop. But we are very close to the abyss, so there's not a lot we can do about that. But if you are standing here, one side, a lot of nice sand, and the other side, well, not much of anything going on down there. We could pull it out a little bit here, but well, we could. Okay, let's do that. We already have the set height set. Change the amount, slide down, say size down. Oh, there you go. I'd like quite a sharp curve along there. That's a bit better. That's a bit more realistic. Neat. Cool. So just added a bunch of cliff to the ground, but that is now holding a bunch of sand in. Let's smooth this off even more, I think. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's better. That's better. Neat. All right, what's going on here with this boat? Because this boat it's fine, but now this area is a little bit more rationalized. I don't think we need you. So make sure we got the right thing selected and delete that. Cool. Structures are everywhere except for in our eyeballs. Right, let us turn the ocean off. So praise the sun, cog, display ocean. There we go, that's better. We can see what's going on now. And what's going on is we're going to need a wreck. I want a wreck to be here in the harbour. In fact, what we could do is make this a bit more interesting underwater. We could do that. Okay, let's do that. Let's grab some rocks. We're going to use some cliff pieces, I think. Let's do this. Cliff 5. Cliff 6 is the big one. We could do that. I think it's going to be too big, though, for what we realistically need it for. I just need an underwater cliff, and I think this is going to be too big. Well, let's try it. Let's try it. Teach transform. See, we can always try things, and if it doesn't work, then just get rid of it. So teach transform. Okay, cool. And then what we can do is retrain paint height from down here. The amount slider, eyeball that, and then push that back. Okay. And then actually, if we have object selected, we can just copy that by pressing C, hit rotate, and then transform. We can see the caustics on the top, the light on the top, and that is going to give us an indication of exactly what is underwater. There you go. Interesting. Nice deep area there. Cool. So we go back to terrain, and what I'm going to do is raise and lower. Amount slider is down. Nice big brush. I'm just going to raise some sand over here. It's raised up. There you go. There you go. Nice, good. And then let's smooth that off. So we have this nice big pad here. Mount slide crank for that, I think. Yeah. Good. Good, good, good. So what we could probably do is raise mount slider down. You gotta go eyeball that mount slider, because if you don't, it's gonna catch you out. And then smooth height, crank it, smooth it. Cool. Excellent. I'm not entirely sure about this though. What's going on here? What is going on here? That is an excellent question. Doesn't look great. I think we can do better. I think that's kind of the motto of the build. We can do better. That's better. Cool. Right, just to make sure that we've got everything fine, so we go back to terrain, turn the ocean on. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. You'd never know. You'd never know there's a bunch of stuff down there. Okay, so praise the sun, ocean off. And we can add something of a complicated rack. Well, complicated in, you know. So structures, we are going to need some rack pieces. Shipwreck 13? Oh no, max reach, because we've already added it as part of a radome. Shipwreck 2A? Well, we just deleted you. Shipwreck 3A? Oh. Okay. Shipwreck 5A. You're beautiful. You really are actually kind of neat. Okay. So what we got going on here is a rack with a bunch of cool stuff. And we might need to try and fit this in here. Oh, I don't know, I really don't like it being out over the abyss, but I mean, who am I to reason? Okay. That seems pretty neat. That seems pretty logical. It's just poking up against the rocks at the front. It's got a nice deep area. We've carved it out so that you can actually get inside it. So if we go inside, everything's clear. Oh, is that what you were carving it all out for? Yeah. The whole inside is now open and clear. So if someone is to go in here, they can absolutely go in there. Oh. So if we turn the ocean back on, bloop, there you go. You have a tell that there is a wreck there. You've got the mast. You've even got the bow just poking up over the water. But bloop, you got to go down, down, down. It's like, oh. But there's going to be coral. There's going to be fish. There's going to be a bunch of stuff around here. And I don't think... No, so we haven't blocked the bow entrance either. So the whole entrance is pretty neat, pretty open. That's better. Like I said, we can do better. We can do better. And that seems like a natural, like a little natural inlet, so that's why they had the jetty here. Although, you might have ripped the bottom of your boat open on these rocks. I don't know. I don't know. Should be okay with the raft. Did we change the time of day? Yeah, so low tide is about there. And you can tell because the ocean actually does go up and down. So if I change it, high tide is there. And yeah, so high tide is there. And low tide is about there. It's not a huge amount. I think real world is about a foot. But that's kind of neat. Could we do anything else here? Yeah, we probably. Let's go and have a little look at the shipwrecks. So we got shipwreck 4A. What we could do is just add to it if we wanted to. I don't think we need to be honest. I'm not entirely sure we need to. I do like stacking them wrecks together though. Yeah, maybe. I'll rotate this over. T to transform, and then just have something poking out the sand. As if there's something else down here. Oh, will it even be visible? I'm not entirely sure. Is it there? Does it exist? Does it add a little bit of interest to an otherwise... Yep, that's fine. So yeah, a little bit of a bigger shipwreck. And if you stand here, yeah, that's nicer. That makes more sense in the context of the map that we have been creating. Right. So we're probably going to hit up rocks. We're going to probably hit up shoreline rock 2. Because I do want some trees here. Do we need shoreline rock 2? I think we can drag this into here. Yeah, we can. And we just do this. And then rotate. In such a way that I want gaps. Sandy gaps. Sandy cheeks. Sandy gaps. Here. T to transform. So I'm hitting T and R. Okay. Yeah, I just want a little bit of rock structure here. It just adds more like story here. Just adds more reason for this to be poking out as it is. Good. Terrain objects. Nothing selected. What we could do. I mean, we've got these trees here. We've also got fairly big open stretches of beach along here as well. Got to keep as I was reminded, got to keep areas open for the players to actually build houses and farms and things. So I think this needs some greenery on it. Yeah, definitely. So we're probably going to go back to type and find the ficus. So we go from the bottom up, ficus tree 2. Yeah. Yeah. Drag it down into the ground. Adds. I like the ficus tree. It just adds some nice shade. Rotate, because the branches are kind of neat. That'll do. T to transform. Drag it down a bit more. Check the size of it with Mr. Door, because we know that the player is not going to be taller than Mr. Door. That's kind of low, but you know what? It's fine. That's not out. That doesn't look like it sticks out as far as it could. But remember that we've got just a bunch of void on the other side. So, neat. Alright. And we should probably add some other plants here. So, trees. Acacia. Yes, of course. We're going to add a little bit of allocate, a little bit of greenery there, because otherwise it's too grey. Too grey, you know. Sermon? Candy. Just a little oasis of green down next to the coast, which probably suggests that this is a bit more sheltered along here, if these trees and things can grow. I mean, the waves aren't crashing up here, and we can probably suggest that, yeah, it's a little calmer along here. Good. Good. Do we have... We've got the wall of lava, the PP. PP. Pine trees. Well, we can't put any more of those in. Is there anything that we could probably just sneak in there? Akura? A little bit of fruiting tree. I think the Kura is quite a big tree. The Quawa is probably a better one. Oh, driftwood. I'm never sure why driftwood is here. I'll put it there. I'll put some driftwood down there. Nice. Yeah. So, nana plant, sermon, ficus, Kura. Pea, pine, potato, koala. It's sort of alphabetized, but it's also sort of not. Wow. That's a lot of words to get out between your teeth. So where are we going to put it? I'd like it to be next to the tree, but here's the thing. Everything has a hitbox, so you might not be able to harvest the fruit from it if it's too close to another object. That's fine. That's fine. I think that's nicer than it was before. If we go and stand on the jetty. Boop. Yeah. Yeah, oh, that's terrifying. But that could be related to this lot up here. That could be related to the scientists on the other side of the island. Could be related to a bunch of things. I love this. And we don't need to dress this up too much on the bottom because it's going to have coral and because it's going to have... the game will put rocks and things down there as well, regardless of what you feel should be down there. Okay, and I think we should probably do something with this as well. So what we can do is, since we put this in last time, throw in some palm trees. So I do like these rocks, and I do like having palm trees on the beach. See, anytime you are wandering along, if you have nothing between you and the ocean, so let's find area of beach. I think I've said this before. I've said it multiple times before, but let's go down here. Shift is actually sprint, but sometimes you shift yourself into the edge of the island. It's not reliable. But yeah, we have a beach here, and we have hillside, and we have nothing. And it feels cold. It feels vulnerable. If, on the other hand, we have a bunch of structures between the hillside and the ocean that the player can put between them, so if we're walking along here, it feels warm, almost safe. Not so much comforting, but definitely safe. So we've gone from narrow, cold beaches to something that's a little bit more, homely, I think. And this is what I was talking about when it comes to smoothing the sand. These polygonal lumps and bumps, you're just going to get that. It's from the 1.0 version of the game. They never fixed it. They never will. So have fun with that. We'll spin these trees around, give them a couple of spins. Palm tree, and let's do another one there. 2 is a line. 3 is a group. So we'll put 3 in there. And yeah, you can put them in. You can put them into the rocks, it's fine. It just means when the player hacks it out with an axe at some point. Oh, that's that jumping, that popping, is just because there's a bunch of objects together and it's having an effect on the camera. Like I said, you can't do anything about that. That is nothing you can do. Palm saplings, yeah. Palm saplings, put it in, spin it around, give it a little spin. Again, sort of palm saplings will regrow, the palm trees won't. So, yeah, I think that's probably fine, actually. At some point, we're going to need to go and put like rocks and resources, but we've gone from just a bunch of rocks to a bunch of trees. Nice. There's another few bunches over there. I like that. I like having stuff between the coast and the island body itself. Neat. That's good. Excellent. I'm not sure what else we can put down there, or even if we should put anything down here. I'm looking at this. I think what we could do here is just raise the sand up here. I know it's a little thing. If we go to terrain, retrain paint height from, say, here. Did I have retrain paint height selected or not? No, because I didn't have the button selected and the amount's cranked all the way up. We've done a little bit of a mistake. We can actually use retrain paint height to fix that. It's not an issue. What I was thinking is raise this up here on this side just a little bit. Change the size of the brush down. And we are having an effect underwater. And then push it down again with the smooth height tool. So crank that up a bit and then smooth this down. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little thing. It's a tiny little thing. But as you're walking along here, you've got... Let's smooth this off as well. Yeah, you've got a little lumpy bump there. Instead of this being just like sticking out over the void, it looks like it's now... There's stuff underwater and it looks like it's being held up. Rocks and things. Alright, cool. Cool. That looks a bit better. And... yeah, maybe we'll drop these down. Objects. T to transform. Have the right thing selected. So I want that one up. And this one down? Yeah, there you go. It just looks a little too close to the surface down there. Okay, fine. And since we're doing stuff underwater, we'll go to rocks. And then what I'll probably do is just slap a big rock here. Really? Yeah, this might not be necessary. But I'm not happy with there just being a bunch of sand there with no reason for it to exist. It's just a little thing, just a little tiny thing. And again, the game's probably just gonna put rocks and stuff here anyway. But if you put that there, that means that instead of just this being a lump of sand, Now there's a reason for it to be, because it looks like there's like maybe rock or something underneath there holding everything together. Good. I like that. I like that a lot. More story. More story. Wonderful. And then there's just this bit here. Now this is fine. We should probably sort this out since we did knock a hole in it. So retrain paint height from the dry sand. Mount slider. Let's change the size down a little bit. That's a bit better. Bit better. We can use raise and lower. So we can hit lower. So push it down a little bit. And then smooth. Crank it up. And then smooth this off a little bit. It's better. Nice. Little things, little touches here and there. I still feel there should be something here, but I'm not entirely sure what. Did it throw a rock in there? Is that just gonna... is that gilding the lily? Maybe. I just feel there needs to be something here, and I'm not entirely sure what. Let's do this. Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, I got it. It just felt a little bit odd. There's absolutely nothing here, and I think this is probably going to help. So if we retrain paint height from the darker blue, change the size of the brush down, and then crank it up a little bit. The amount slider is cranked again. That's, yeah, probably a bit better. Yes, okay, and then we can smooth. It's all underwater, you can't see anything. Praise the sun. Praise the sun, praise the sun. Okay. Let me just smooth that off. Oh, smooth that off there. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. This felt a little bit wrong. It felt like there wasn't anything there. Okay, and then we could probably throw in some trees. A couple of trees. So, palm tree? Yeah. A couple of smaller palms, I think. So, T, drop it down. R to rotate, because the palm tops are, you know, they're the same. They're always the same. We'll put a smaller one in as well. T. Let's see. A little rock here? That'd be nice. Just a little rock. So we'll grab one down from here. That's better. Better. Now what we can do is go back to trees and then throw in some palm saplings. Where are you at the bottom? Alphabetized, but not quite alphabetized. It's weird. Palm sapling and then sapling. Is that better? Yeah, although the top likes to vanish every now and again. So standing here, that's what you can see. That way, and then that way. Yeah, okay, cool. I think that's kind of brought everything a little bit more in line. Nice. And we can add items and rocks and things here. Otherwise, I think what we've done is actually quite good. Quite good, even though most of everything that we've done this session is hidden. What have we done? Well, we've added a shipwreck, we've added some underwater cliffs, we've refined the jetty, we've added some trees, we've actually stopped the jetty kind of floating because it was floating awkwardly, added a little bit of sand so that the water goes through this gap here. So there's a gap between the front and back of the jetty. So it looks like the sand is actually being knocked out of there because it's not acting the same way as these groins are. These groins are capturing sand, but because of that hole, there is an effect of the sand and the water. And then what we did is we added a cliff piece that is again having an effect on the sand. So sand is piled up on one side, it's dipped down on the other side. We've added some trees, we've added some rocks, and we've added some more resources in the way of driftwood. Good, but everything is kind of hidden. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But that wreck needed to be changed, and it did get changed. Something a lot bigger. Excellent. Well, I mean, I did say it was going to be slow progress, and it is slow progress, but we are We are making a usable beach on an island that may otherwise not have had a usable beach. So that's kind of cool. But I'm going to leave it there for the time being. Oh, I'm going to leave it there for the time being. So what have we got left that we need to do? So much more. We need to do a lot on the actual outer caldera. We need to add a bunch of greenery to these rock pieces and maybe some pathways across them. We need to refine the forest, although the forest is probably the most mature part of the island. And then at some point we need to actually do something with the caldera. I don't want to add too much stuff to the inside of the caldera. I want to keep it big and open and sort of vast like this. But I'm sure there's a few bits and pieces that we can add to the inside of it. So I'm going to leave it there for the time being. Wow, yeah. That really does tie that section in. Cool, excellent. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there for the time being. If you like these videos, consider subscribing. It's free and it makes you feel good. If you want notifications, dingle bingle. If you don't want notifications, don't click the bell, and I'll tell you what. I'll catch you next time.